Oh, me. Well, I got my sweatshirt straightened up here as I'm sitting down. It says I'm live. I hope I'm live. I'm going to take for granted. Let me get the camera situated a little bit better here. Uh, I think I'm ready to rock and roll. Although, hey, Joy, top of the morning to you too. Top of the morning. You're first in here. Hey, Jamie. Yeah, I'm in here early this morning. Well, not early, but here this morning. Who's late? Am I late? I thought it was right at 9 o'clock. I thought, uh, but yeah, I'm trying to get started here and trying to, as I don't know if you saw the title or whatever, but it says that my too old to rock and roll. My ears are still ringing from a concert that I went to Friday night. We went to see the Kentucky Headhunters, and whew, they were loud. Of course, it was in a small venue, and I think they thought they were in the Charlotte Coliseum because, boy, they had it cranked up. It was loud for that venue. Well, I'm doing pretty good, Jamie. Hey, Patrick, how are you? 50 degrees there in Apple Country, is it? Well, it is a little bit cooler than that here. It's, I think it was 48 degrees, 48, 47 degrees this morning when I got up, uh, which is cool for here. I mean, we don't have the cold temperatures that they have, up north. That I've heard some of them say out there that it was in the 30s in the early mornings. I was watching Just a Few Acres, Pete, who's over there near Ithaca, and he was saying it was like 30, 36 degrees or whatever when he was up. Of course, he was doing his video from a couple of days ago. So, but an early morning coolness and everything up there in some of the areas. But it's that time of year. It's October the 15th, halfway through the month of October. Can you believe it? Time is flying and everything. It's hard to believe that we're that far along. Yeah. Well, yeah, I got home by bedtime, Chris, but boy, I tell you what, I knew I was in a rougher crowd when I saw about 6 or 8 mullets uh, on the guys going into the concert. I mean, the Kentucky Headhunters brings out a little bit different group than I was used to, and I guess I'm a little more conservative than their average crowd. And but it was fun. It was they were good. They're good musicians and everything, but boy, their sound man. They think that they need to be. I mean, when you feel the pressure, and I was a good piece. Well, not a good piece back because it's a small venue, but it basically it's in an older high school auditorium that they've converted into a arts center, where they have different groups and everything in there. But the Kentucky Headhunters, boy, those guys were rocking. They thought they were in a open air concert or something because they had, whew, they didn't need any monitors up on the stage because boy, it was huge. Yeah, that's the loudest concert that I've been in, and since I was a teenager, and my ears are telling the tale on me right now this morning. Oh me, yeah, yeah. I guarantee the time started flying for you as soon as little Charlotte was born there, Chris, because it'll just snap your fingers and she'll be 18 years old. You just wait and see. I mean, it's that quick. I mean, it's amazing it's amazing how fast time does fly. No, I'm not getting a new bumper yet, Joey. We haven't even attempted to fix that one yet. Jim and I will probably get on to it. That one is the least of my worries. I'll just let that one. I'll leave that one there, and I may just call it Joey Bumper, since Joy's one that pointed it out to me. I mean, if I fix it, what would be the thrill of talking about it, Joy? I wouldn't have bumper gate. I got to have bumper gate, hadn't I? Yep, the journey is what you're looking forward to for sure, Chris. I mean, now you got now she's 2 years old. You got to be thinking about number two, and you know have a playmate for her. That's what you got to have. I've got one of each. I got a daughter, and they're 2 years apart. It's what they are. So you have to thinking about number two. Hey, Renegade. Yeah, I was in and out. Yeah, I was chatting with Renegade the other day as I was getting ready to go to this concert, and now that I've gone to the concert, Renegade, I can't hear. I couldn't hear anyway, but now, oh lordy, my seriously, my ears are still ringing. Um, I had my hearing aids in, and I took them out, and it was actually louder. What it was, my hearing aids were getting overpowered so much they were shutting down my hearing a little bit, so it was muffling it. So I put my hearing aids back in at the concert because they actually muffled the sound just a smidge. Because boy, it was loud, 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 loud. Mm. Well, I guess to each his own on that, Chris. I mean, everybody has to decide. Of course, you definitely don't want to put yourself in a bind, and children are expensive. That's for sure. Children are expensive. Uh, I I just I enjoyed my children to uh, and still do. Um, it's hard for me to believe my children are grown adults like they are. Uh, I still think of them in the terms I guess of being young. And the good thing about it, my my grandson came along, and I kind of raised my son again by vicariously through my grandson. He just he was a spitting image of his dad, acted somewhat like his dad, and he was a character, still is. And now he's down. Now he's 18 years old and down at NC State, and I'm life cycles just keep going around, and it's hard to believe these things move so fast, but they do. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, you want to be able to provide, and hopefully you will be able to provide as good as you can. And as hardworking as you are, Chris, I don't foresee me knowing you through the years that you're going to have a struggle, because you're a hustler, and hustlers usually can get the job done. And now, if you were lazy and you just sat back and waited on money to come dropping out of the sky, it'd be different. But when you're a hustler and you find things to make money, you know, you'll manage. I mean, I had to do things like that too. And I was a hustler and side hustler, and kept a job here, and worked at different things. And I was always seeking to have a little, like I said, a little side hustle to make some extra money to get the things I want. And I remember telling my son, we have one gift that he still has to this day. me and my wife, we searched all over trying to find that at Christmas time. And it took a huge portion of my salary just to get that. And I know you probably shouldn't do that, but we did it at the time. And uh, you know, she and I, we 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 didn't get everything we wanted. I mean, for a long time, my wife and I never gave each other Christmas presents because by the time we had money spent for our children, we didn't have much left for us, and it was fine. I mean, I didn't really, I wasn't in need of much. Uh, and as the years progressed and everything, we continued on like that. We really didn't buy much for ourselves, and we provided for ourselves through the year. But as far as big Christmas presents or something, we didn't start getting any like that for each other till our mature years, I guess you might say. Once we felt like we could that we didn't have any huge amount that we were going to pay for. Whoops, I got my thumb up there. Well, yeah, give my thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, guys, if you can on my on my page there. That helps. Yeah, we'll do that. And then, yeah, Renegade was asking me about these things. And, you got to have the latest iOS and, and then all these different things. Like I said, now, if you want to, if you want to see uh, now the two thumbs up, and watch this. Woo! I got the background and everything. Yeah, that's the explosion. Yeah, I like that. That's some pretty neat stuff that Apple has out there, and you got to have the latest software on your phone. I've got an iPhone 13, so you got to have. I think it's iOS 17. I believe that's, and then you got to have it's 17 and 14. I can't remember. I think it's 14 for the computer, and it's 17 point whatever on the iPhone. And then I'm using what they call a continuity. I'm using a continuity with my phone up here. So my phone camera and everything actually is what I'm using instead of the camera on the computer. Now I can use the camera on the computer, but it's not as good a camera. The camera on the phone gives a lot better picture. So that's the camera that I use when I'm doing these live shots and everything, and it works out great. It's supposed to give you like, well, I don't think it's 4K. I think it may be 1080p. I don't know. I don't know exact specs that it's actually transmitting via this continuity thing, but it's real good. It's better than any webcam that I used to use and everything else. I think it works out pretty good. How is it to y'all? Is it, give me a thumbs up if it's good, or let me know if it's good and everything. But the audio and the video usually are pretty good by the setup that I have right here. Yeah. Well, now it will say Renegade. It will say that it's up to date, but scroll down and see if you can't download that version 17 point whatever. You should be able to. It may say that you're up to date, but I think that I think you can still get version 17 on 11s if you're an iPhone 11. I think you can. I don't know, but that's what it takes. It's going to take that version. It'll take that version and then on the computer, if you got I think you got a Mac Pro too, or Mac Pro also. I said, you got to have that version 14.1 or whatever it is, and yeah, okay, well, good. I'm glad it's crystal clear. That's what I'm shooting for. I mean, I know that you'll see some live videos and they're choppier and everything else. and the audio's in and out. And I try to have a good live video, uh, and try to make it look as good as possible. No, I'm well, it may not cut it if you're trying to do what the Macs are doing. Um, I mean, you know, now let me watch this now. I believe it's nope, it's not doing it. There it is. I got it raining. Yeah, I'm raining on my parade there. Hey, James, how are you? Yeah, yeah. Oh, hey, Kevin. I didn't see Kevin. I didn't. I let Kevin jump right past me there. You're on the way to Dallas, are you? Wow, better you than me. I don't want to be going. Well, Dallas for me is not too far if it's Dallas, North Carolina. But now if it's Dallas, Texas, now it's a whole different thing. Yeah. Now, what kind of camera are you using, Chris? Yeah. Anytime now you have to be careful uh, when you're upgrading or uploading stuff to make sure that you keep the same integrity for the film and everything. All your phones are Androids. Now are you uploading your videos from the Android phone to YouTube? So that's what you're doing. Are you doing them, or you're not doing them direct though? You're actually taking the picture and then uploading the video afterwards, right? All right, that's good, Renegade. That's good, Renegade. Now be sure and get your MacBook Pro all the way up to 14.01 or whatever it is. And then have you done the continuity? Do the continuity for your phone, for your camera and everything. So it will go over to the YouTube. Now you can test it and everything without having to go on the YouTube. You can test it just through QuickTime or whatever if you want to double check it that way. So that's one way of double checking it. Make sure that it's using the phone. And actually, when you do the continuity thing, it will actually do a little. Uh, Mine does a little beep of some sort in the background. Yeah. Yeah, when you do it from 2 different device, yeah, I tell you, it's crazy how you can get, hung up on this editing and everything else. I guess that's one reason I like my live, shows because I'm not doing any editing. I mean, we're right here in my shop. If I wanted to go over here and point and somebody said, "Go over and shut that door on that vehicle," I could walk over there and shut it. It's live. You'd see it. No editing required whatsoever. So to me, that's easy. And I like easy a lot of times. I mean, I don't want to have to get out there and struggle with doing too much edit. I like taking videos. I've got some videos from 3 months ago that I haven't even touched yet, and I need to get them and put them up. Uh, I mean, I've got some stuff, and then sometimes I'll jump around. I'm not consistent for day to day to day operation as far as uploading my regular feeds, and I need to. I need to be more structured like that. Uh, the the beauty, like I said, the beauty of doing live, like what we're doing right now, and Renegade will attest to this too. It's one and done. You're doing it. It's whatever you get, you get. If people like it, it's fine. If they don't like it, it's whatever. Uh, because I'm shooting exactly what's transpiring and everything. Yeah. Yeah, you got to watch your resolution there, and they keep your resolution up, Chris. If you're shooting off phones, uh, I would you need to have some of the latest to get some of the best quality. Like these iPhones, this is a 13 that I'm using, and I'd like to have that 15. It's nice, but I can't justify it yet. But these 13s, of course, they're 4K, and they'll do a lot of things that cameras that I had in years past wouldn't do. So it's amazing how much technology that they put into these iPhones, and I've got a Android 7 too. The not Android 7, but Google 7. The Google 7 Plus, I believe it is, and it's a nice phone. Uh, and it shoots a good video too. It shoots a 4K video, and you can upload some decent pictures out of those. I got that, and I got a mixture of my wife says I have too many cameras, and it's sort of crazy. I got a backup camera for this. Uh, there goes my thumb again. For this, I'll do it that way. Maybe I won't do it, but I bought a backup camera on Prime Day that I wanted to add to my little toolkit. That's why the toolkit's in here. But my wife saw that. She said, "What's that?" I said, "It's a camera." She said, "How many cameras do you need?" Because I have a lot of cameras. I have a couple of GoPros, and I got a couple of uh, uh, which kind is that? Oh God, I can't. I got the 360 camera, and then I got a couple other cameras that plus I've got my big what I call my 35 millimeter camera, but it's not. It's I got the big Canon, not Canon. Well, I got a Canon too. I got an older Canon, and I got a Sony. I got a Sony camera. I forget which one. It's something 7 or something. I can't remember all the numbers. Yeah, well, that's what you get sometimes, Chris. Yeah, yeah, and the iPhone, I mean, not the iPhones, the GoPros do overheat. I'm surprised. I've got 2 GoPro 9s, and the reason I've got 9s, and I'd kinda check, I've got them for about $100 cheaper than I get the latest current ones, and I said, "I'm not," and from all the reviews, the 9 and the 10s and the 11s were about the same. Now they got the 12s out. The 12 has got a couple of little things, but for my usage, I don't see that there's not a big enough boost yet. Now, the stability type thing is getting better with all of them. Even with these iPhones and the Android phones, you can walk around with them and shoot video a lot better than you used to because they got that stabilization in them. And that was the thing. I had a couple of the uh, I can't remember the name. I've got a couple of them with the gimbal built on. Now they're pretty cool too, and I like those. They make it. Yeah, now that ZV-1 is a good one. I don't have the ZV-1. I've got just the bigger, a little bit bigger Sony camera, but that ZV-1 is supposed to be a real good camera for shooting videos. Yeah, yeah. Once you get that continuity camera set up to your computer now, Renegade, you'll use this all the time. I mean, that's what I do. I like this because you can set it up to use the microphone and the video, or you can keep the microphone on the laptop's still pretty good. Sometimes I don't even bother to worry about the audio part, but I do want to get the video part off of this camera, and it to me it's been excellent. I think I hope y'all guys do too. I think it's been way better than the webcams. The webcams are more they've got a more of a wide angle sometimes than I really want. This one seems to be just down my alley. I like it. No, no, when I'm wireless right now. If I had another, I'll show you by moving it. I mean, I'm totally wireless. I have no wires or anything connected uh, to the phone or the computer using this continuity. I mean, it's a totally wireless situation, so it works great. I mean, that's what I say. You'll love it, and I don't know how it works. All I know, it does work, and it works great. But you got to go in there and go into the continuity. Now, there's some sites online that you can go in there and see how to set up the continuity, how to connect your iPhone to your live streams and everything else. There's some websites showing you how to do that. Go in there. I encourage you to look at those YouTube videos. Uh, but I'm here to tell you that it does work, and you're seeing it work firsthand. And so I think you ought to try that. I mean, those of you that have Macs and iPhones, I mean, I think it's the best. It's the best thing going right now as far as uh, shooting videos and everything. I really do love it. And like I said, and then I can, I'm sitting here and I can spin it around. I can show you, you know, all around my shop, do a complete 360, set it back down, and it hopefully it didn't make you dizzy. But I mean, that did a 360 around my shop right there. And you couldn't do that if you had a bunch of cords tied into it. And that's the neat thing about it. And I like I said, between that and all these new effects they've got going on with their software and that sort of stuff, I'm trying to think. I don't know if I don't know if clapping does anything. I don't think that does anything. There's a couple of different gestures, like I said, that you can do. But like I said, if I want to go back to uh, the 4th of July celebration type thing, I give myself 2 thumbs up, and then I go into that, which I think is cool. And then, like I said, if I think somebody said something really bad, and I want to give myself 2 thumbs down, what's supposed to rain on me. I think if you do 2 thumbs down, it's not doing it like I want to. I thought it usually does the rain. I don't know if it. Let me see if I can get it to do it. It's not want to do it. I can't control that. It's sort of. I mean, I can by my gestures, but it just if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Oh, okay. No, I got the right. Yeah, right there's Malcolm's. Jamie was asking about. There's Malcolm's advertisement right there. I had to get. Yeah, Malcolm's in a heated battle. That's about Malcolm Parker's one of my best friends ever. Uh, he and I have been best friends from grade school on up. So we've been friends for 60 plus years, and it's uh, I I want him to get reelected if I can. He's a real good city councilman and works hard for our city. Really, he really, really does, and gets some things done. Well, the one I like, the Google phone is in my opinion the best all round phone. The Google Pixel, the Pixel, and now they have the Pixel 8 out, and it's got some good features. And it's not as expensive as the iPhone. It's a little less, but it's still up there. I mean, you're still talking about, well, of course, it depends. You get all these carrier offers, and if you don't have a plan that you're trying to keep and everything else, you sometimes get one of these carrier offers that you can get these phones for practically nothing, and then you're just buying your plan anyway. I'm not locked into any of those. I've got an older plan myself that I don't want to lose. I mean, I got totally unlimited on not these unlimited. And when you get to that peak, they'll call you. I've got one of these older versions of unlimited on this iPhone right here that I won't give up. But uh, and they've tried numerous times to get me to switch. And they said, "Oh well, we can still give you unlimited." And I said, "Really? You mean unlimited and you won't cap me in any way?" They said, "Oh well, no, it caps after 200 hours." I said, "Well, that's not unlimited." And see, this phone is not capped in any way, shape, or form. Now it costs me a little bit more. I could probably get a little bit cheaper plan, but for the what it does, and I can do anything, anytime. I mean, if I want to use that as my primary streaming device, I can tie that onto my phone and stream off it. And I can stream off my Android phone too. I used to couldn't do that, but I switched my home phone. My Android phone, actually, my Google Pixel, the Pixel 7 I actually have two numbers on it. Uh, it's got two eSIM, it's got an eSIM and a regular SIM. And that's how you get two phone numbers. When Jamie was down, I showed Jamie that. I mean, I got an AT&T line and a Verizon line in one phone, which works great when you get into situations where you need one or the other. And and the old AT&T phone used to be my home phone, and I converted it into a cell phone because we don't even use we got so tired of answering phone calls at home and it'd be telemarketers. I don't even have to worry about that anymore. My cell phone blocks them. It identifies what's coming in like that, and then I got a screening service built on there with Google that I use. So if I don't recognize the number, I screen it, and if they don't answer the screening device, then I don't answer the phone. Now, if they start talking on it and it starts, transcribing something that I know I want to answer, I'll answer the phone. But um, that's the way I do my telephones, and it works. Seems to work out pretty good. Seems to work pretty good. Yeah. Well, I've got him. I've got Malcolm. I'm running it around as much as I can, but y'all guys don't want me out driving right now, so I'll probably have it on the road later today. We put it in a couple parades, and there was a outdoor concert uptown the other night. Well, and you were with me, Jamie. Jamie was down and he and I moved the 55 from one side of the street to the other side of the street because earlier that day we'd had an opening for a cafe that was downtown in Cherryville, and I moved it. I had the car right across from where it was, and then after that, uh, we had that outdoor concert, and I turned around, moved it, and put it in front of the Chamber of Commerce, and the car was seen there later that day. So it's made its round. Plus, Jimmy during the week uses that as the parts car. So when we're out running parts and different things like that, Jimmy's out driving it. So that's what we do. Yeah. Yeah. Not a new business for me now, Chris. A new business uptown. Yeah, this one's called the Fuzzy Cow, and it's ice cream parlor and stuff like that. It's it seems to be doing okay. I'm not into that. My kids are my son and daughter-in-law and all. They like that. They've seen this type franchise in other locations and like it, and you go in and choose your stuff. To me, I don't know. I'm old tradition. I'm just not. I'm not into that. Well, that happens sometimes, Tim. Yeah, you get in anything that's state run and doesn't have competition. You seem to get the least amount of service for the maximum amount of cost. And I mean, I don't know very many city or state run entities that give it give you maximum everything. Uh, you got to have some competition out there to push you to or to strive to get better service. And if they don't strive to get better service or the competition doesn't drive that, you usually get an inferior service, and that does happen. So I'm glad we got competition. I'm a capitalist 100%. I like to see capitalists go at it so we can get the a better. Uh, Let me just straightened up in my seat. So we can get some better things. But that's the way it goes. Well, I got my. I don't know if y'all. I'm gonna lean in here. That's my hat. That's Dirt Boss's outfit. Dirt Boss. I don't know if anybody keeps up with him on this channel. I mean, I know Joey and me and Joey know if Joey's still in here. Uh, uh, Dirt Boss is a good friend of his. He actually lives up there close to him, and Mike, and which is Dirt Boss. He and I and Joey went out and uh, went to a restaurant several months ago, but he has had some problems. He hurt himself uh, about a month ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago. So he's been out of work, and uh, I wanted to give a shout out to his channel. Uh, yeah, he was live the other night. I saw him. I actually chatted with him the next day. Uh, Me and him, we converse. I talked to him. I've got his phone number. Joey knows him well, uh, and he hurt himself. I hope he gets back around. But I did want to give a shout out to his channel because he makes a little bit of money, a little side hustle on his channel. He's like all the rest of us. We get YouTube pesos out of it. We don't get rich off of it. But there are some guys like Andrew and Let's Dig and a bunch of these other guys. They're making good money off of YouTube. Um, I, and I I'm glad for them. I mean, that's like I think Pete from Just a Few Acres. I think Pete and his wife are doing well off of YouTube, and rightfully so. They put out a good product. I was watching him earlier this morning, and then Mike Morgan, that Outdoors with the Morgan, he does real well. There's a few channels that I like to watch, and that sort of stuff that put out good material. I'm trying to do like that with my channel. I want to put out better material and do it I guess I'm too old, too lazy, or whatever. Sometimes uh, I get complacent and I don't do the editing and everything else like I should. Jim and I have a good time sometimes up here with videos, and I come up here and I tell Jim I'm gonna make him a YouTube star, and he laughs about it and that sort of stuff. But uh, yeah, I know. Yeah, it doesn't get you rich. Yeah, yeah, it takes a while to get $100 off of YouTube, especially us small channels, and they won't pay you out unless you they won't pay you any money at all until you make enough to get over $100. So when you get a check from them, your first check will be probably $100 or so, and I just put it back into what I'm doing anyway. So it's not much money for me, uh, because my live videos don't bring in that much. Every once in a while, I hit on a topic. Uh, Usually, when I do some videos about FedEx, stuff like that. Now they hit pretty good. I get I'll get 10,000, 12,000, whatever views. But then I do a live video and it gets 150, 200. If it gets that, 150 views, and those aren't money makers. You go on there and you look at your analytics and you've made 6 cent or 50 cent or something like that. And of course, I don't even count that stuff. I do this for my enjoyment. I don't do it to make money. If I was doing this to make money, uh, I would probably critique it and try to do a lot better things than I'm doing. Yeah, and that's what a lot of them do, and there a lot of them do clickbait. I mean, they got a title out there. Um, it's what it is. It's something catchy to get somebody out there. I mean, I don't do clickbait. Uh, I try to put a title that what I want to when I'm doing these videos or what I want to talk about, or at least start off talking about. I mean, like this one, I started off. I was going to start off talking about my concert that I went to the other night. I mean, because seriously, my ears are still ringing to this day here because all that loud music the other day. I mean, I that's what got me in trouble with my hearing years ago, that and heavy equipment. And now I'm reverting back to it as I get older. I guess I wasn't deaf enough. So I've made myself deafer by going to a big rock concert. But that's what uh, that's what you get. But to each of us, we all ought to, the ones of us that are doing videos or whatever, strive to do as much as you can. And I enjoy the content of different people. I mean, I thoroughly do. I mean, I watch no, I don't watch TV anymore. I mean, I watch these videos on TV. I mean, I've got mine streaming to my big screen TV, and I watch that, and that's to me, those contents are way more entertaining. I don't know what it is about watching Chris on a bulldozer or on a track hoe that I like, and some of these others. And but I'll watch it and pick up on some things, and plus uh, this I like the storyline. I like watching people that are doing real things, real lives, and you can see that it's not all done just for the camera. I mean, I don't need a high end production show. I mean, I like them well produced. I like them well, the video done, shot well, and everything, and that sort of stuff, and the audio, just like everything else. But I don't need a slick video to catch my attention. Yeah. Now, Pete, I actually met Pete up there at Ithaca a couple months ago. We talked, chatted with him. Nice guy. He works hard. Uh, he works hard doing his craft, and he's actually hit a niche. And I think people like him because he's genuine. And that's, to me, that's the thing. There are some other channels out there that are not genuine. They're money grab type things, and everybody can see those. I mean, on Pete probably could have way more advertisement as far as he could be showing off new tractors. He doesn't want to do that. I've kind of chatted with him and kidding him about bobcats because I mean there's certain chores that he does. And I go, gosh, if you just had a bobcat, you could do good. But he doesn't like skid steers. He told me that. He said, I don't like skid steers. And I mean, he could do he wants to work with his old farm malls and everything, and he does it. Does a good job with it though. Mm. Good morning, Bradley. Hope you're enjoying the show here. Yeah, yeah. Pete likes the old equipment, uh, and like I said, modernization of some of that, the implements and a few other things would be a lot handier. I mean, I love modern equipment. I kind of draw the line on deaf equipment. I don't want to get into some of the newer stuff with the regen and everything else. I mean, my equipment like this, I mean, I've got a lot of it up to 2005, 2006, and so on. My Bobcat, my T300 doesn't have the regen system and all that. This one doesn't either. Uh, the only one that does is my new Coyote tractor, and that's the only farm uh, implement that I've got that has any kind of newness to it. Is my Coyote. I've got a 2021 Coyote tractor. You know, that 100 horsepower. It's a big one, and it's a nice one, and it's great for bush hogging out here on the farm and a few things like that. But that's the only one that I've got like that, and the rest of them, I like. I like being able to keep this equipment using the new implements now. I love new implements that I can get from, and I have a slew of implements. Jamie, if he's still on here, he can tell you that. He saw I'm actually building a new building just to house my implements because they were getting so scattered around and in the grass and everything else, and I wanted to be able to to do that and make it look better. And I'm gonna show that on a video one day, what I'm doing there. Yeah. No, no, no. Now I don't have a backup camera on my uh, little toolcat here. That's what we're getting ready to do. I've got a camera on it, but it's right. What I've got because of the boom being where it is, I got one that lets me see past the boom, so I can see things on the right side. No, I haven't yet. I'm going to. I'm letting the concrete cure. They say you concrete ought to cure 30 days, and I want to let that concrete cure as good as I can before I start putting anything in there. Uh, I think you get a better. I think you get a better uh, results out of your concrete if you let it cure before you start using the heck out of it. That's just my opinion. I mean, some people can't. I mean, sometimes like if it's a driveway or whatever, you can't do that. But for my building, I'm not in a rush to get into it. I'm going to wait and let it cure 30 days if I can, and then start moving stuff in there. Yeah, I guess so, Chris. I don't know which one you're speaking of. I've got one I got one trailer down there that actually collapsed the landing gear on it, and I actually got it up on blocks. Um, I got a landing gear to put under it and just hadn't got around to it yet. And what I do when I want to move it, I've got I've got the little ball that I can put on the. I've got I had to show you these new little pieces I got at an auction. I can get my forks, slide it into those platforms I got, and on the end of it, I've got the receiver hitch, and I can put whatever I want on that receiver hitch and move equipment around on the farm down here. I mean, I moved trailers 100 yards the other day and stuff like that, and do it with my either the tool cat here or the skid steer, whatever, whichever one I want to put it on. And also, I got the new implement that goes on my uh, excavator that I can use any implement for my skid steers on my excavator, which is neat. Although I did realize once you do that, you make that excavator way more top heavy than you do normally. I mean, I put my forks on it and then was lifting some stuff up with the forks, and boy, it was tipsy. So you have to watch yourself when you're doing things like that, when you're extending stuff out that far. Wow. Okay. So now 3URR. Now what are URR? I don't know that acronym. What is that, Bradley? I mean, I know unassigned run. I'm trying to figure out what that is. Unassigned road run. I don't know. Unassigned run rotation. Okay. All right. I, they always come up with an acronym. I had to get it. Yeah. Are you going to be able to get one of those, or have you already gotten one of those? I mean, if you got some unassigned rotations, that'd be pretty good. So you got all three? Wow, that's great. That's great. How many trucks do you have, Bradley? Uh, I mean, I used to have a bunch of assigned trucks down there. I don't know how they're doing that down there. You got 16 tractors. Wow. Now, how many assigned runs do you have, Bradley? I only had, oh me, I'm trying to think. I had 6 assigned runs. I think when I sold out down in Savannah, I think I had 6 assigned runs. I don't know. Now how many of yours are assigned? Yeah, the unassigned are tough. The toughest thing is getting drivers down there in that Savannah market. Now, which terminal are you at? Are you at 314? Well, you're probably at 299, aren't you? Or what's the new one? The 314, have have they moved into their new terminal? 314 was supposed to move in 291. Okay, so 291, now is that the one that's down at Richmond Hill? Because 299 is the one, the newest, used to be the newest one. And then 314 was the old original Savannah terminal. And then 313 was the annex over there near closer into the state line. Yeah, the hub. Okay. Yeah. Well, all of them were calling themselves hubs back then. Okay, so that's the new one near beside 34. Okay, so they're calling it 291. And did they still keep 314 as a local terminal? I didn't know. I mean, I know 314 was when it first opened, I thought, well, that's great. It's got a little bit of room because the old 314, the old original one was across town, and boy, it was a mess. I mean, that was 20 something years ago. Oh, they closed 314. Yeah. Well, that's probably good. It was 314 was just it was terrible. It got so crowded, and then you had to drive around that little curve, and I never did like it. Mm. Well, you take care too, Renegade. You get back out there and get some work done. Yeah, I'm talking to a contractor here from Savannah. Now, Bradley, how long have you been a contractor down there in the Savannah area? Now, was I still that? Were you there before I left? I mean, I don't know. Did you know me down there in Savannah? I mean, I don't. I Oh, so you're just now moving into Savannah, and you've already got 16 trucks into Savannah. Did you buy out an operation there? Oh, you're out of Alabama. Okay, so you got a majority of them in Alabama then, and you're just now moving into Savannah. Is that correct? I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I've got some friends that have just bought out a contractor in the Savannah area, and they're expanding too. Now now how many do you have in Alabama? I mean, you got is it total of 16 all total that you have in your operation? And which part of Alabama are you in? Are you in the Huntsville area or the Birmingham uh, or what kind of area? What hub are you based out of in Alabama? You're like me when I was down there. I mean, I'm north of Savannah. You're west of Savannah, so you and I both have the same logistical situations there. And like I said, which part of Alabama are you based in? I'm just trying to figure it out in my mind here. Hey, Aaron, how are you doing? Yeah, it's a mindset sometimes. My mind still thinks I'm young. My body, unfortunately, tells me that you're a little bit older than you think. Oh, Anniston. Okay. Yeah, I had some runs. I had some dedicated runs in Anniston. I mean, I didn't. Now, does Anniston have a hub now? Yeah. So you got Anniston, Huntsville, Bessemer, Evergreen, Pensacola, and now Savannah. Golly. Well, you're spreading it, that's for sure. You got to stay on top of it, that's for certain. And keeping drivers in these locations is the toughest. Oh, so you're working out of a station. Yeah. So is Savannah your first hub that you've worked out of, or all the rest of them just stations and you're working out of a hub? Now everything you got's line haul, I assume. Yeah, all those areas are strong, and all those being in strong areas, you need that, and you're not going to get laid off as much or whatever. The problem is the how stringent that FedEx is now with their contractors. I mean, they are tough on contractors and don't seem to be lighting up any at all. I mean, they were when I initially started years ago. I mean, it was always tough, but they would work with people. Now they're into a very stringent. We're gonna deduct this. We're gonna deduct that, and um, yeah, you have to run a tight ship if you got that many locations. Yeah. Well, the stations will have a little bit different. mindset than a hub. I can tell you that. These hubs, they're I find them to be stricter. The stations, uh, usually are a little more forgiving, somewhat. Sometimes they're over demanding too, though. I mean, sometimes they want you to do the impossible. They want you to have the capacity of 3 trucks when you only have one, uh, and things like that. And they want you to have when they need it, they want you to have the capacity. And but they don't want to give you the work sometimes, even though you have the capacity. So I mean, sort of a catch-22 situation uh, that you get into with stations sometimes. At least that's my situation. Yeah, well, I tell you that's for sure. Uh, Spencer Patton showed them right quick that yeah they can take you down in a second. Spencer, he's a situation that got too big for his own britches, as the old saying goes. I saw it happening. I mean, I saw what he was proposing last year, and he kept saying, "Oh yeah, we're going to do this," and and they looked at it like, well, this guy's breaching all these contracts by doing that, and we're not going to stand for it, regardless of the size. I mean, he was sort of like, I am this big, and they can't do this, and that sort of stuff. And they go, yes, we can, and boom, they shut him down. So that big difference. Yes, he should have. I mean, he boasted too much, and you're not going to boast about how large you are and how much control you have, and come along with me and we'll show them, and we'll do a purple Friday or whatever kind of stuff he was wanting to do. You're not going to organize in a manner that's going to take them down or penalize them in any way. And that's what he tried to do. He tried to build his own sub union, I guess you might say, within the system. And they were having nothing of it. He was not an organized work relation type organization. He was not a union. He had no control over anybody. And what he did is just, he stepped on their toes too much. I'm surprised that they will even let him do what he's doing. Uh, I guess they watch their P's and Q's, but yeah, he's tough. And for all you guys that are not following this, I'm talking about Spencer Patton, who got to be one of the largest contractors with FedEx Ground. Who FedEx Ground and FedEx, they basically cut him out because he got to boasting that he would do this and he would do that and these sort of stuff, and trying to push FedEx into doing things that FedEx was not intending to do. And they showed him, they said, we're not going to renew your contracts. And he had 120 trucks, I think. And they showed him right quick, we're the boss, you're not. And that's what happened. Well, yeah, he won his case, but he lost all of his routes, and he didn't. He won saying that you're okay. They didn't have to pay him any money. I don't think. I don't think he was awarded any money, was he? I mean, he's got bragging rights that he won something, but I don't. Yeah, yeah, he lost all the revenue coming from those trucks. I mean, he probably had. I would say he had a $25 million operation. If I had to guess, probably grossed 25 to $30 million a year. Now, I don't know how much he netted out of it. Of course, net's a whole different thing, but I know that it probably helped him a lot. And he stepped on their toes, and they said, "Nope, we can do without you," and they did, and they are, and they're still trucking right along, and he's not. Uh, Now he's still surviving, I would imagine, through his brokering and everything. But I'm surprised that some of that hasn't got taken care of, and that sort of stuff. So it is different. Yeah, he lost way more than he won. Like I said, he won maybe some bragging rights. Oh yeah, I'm right in this. I'm right in being able to do this, but he lost he lost his revenue stream in the process. And in the I mean, on paper, he might have been able to say, "Oh yeah, I beat you, FedEx," but FedEx is saying, "Well, you may have won, but we took our bat and ball and we moved on, and you're sitting out here on the ball field all alone." And that's what happened. He might have won the ball field, but they took the game away from him, and so that's sort of the end of that story. I mean, he can brag and say, "Hey, yay, I'm out here on the ball field," but he's all by himself. So when you're a winner of one like that, you really hadn't got much to brag about. But that's the way that's the way the old cookie crumbles. But I saw it happening. I posted in some of my videos that I had last year or so. I said, you just don't poke the bull. You poke at the bull, you're going to get the horns. And that's what he did. He poked at the bull too much, and he got the horns. Yep, he won the battle, but he lost the war. That's for sure. And that's exactly in my opinion too on that. And that's the way it goes. Well, guys, I've been here over an hour and I'm going to go. My voice gets to leaving me after an hour. I've enjoyed it this morning. Very topical about a lot of different things. And I hope everybody's okay. I'm going to give us a 2 thumbs up. We'll explode on out of here. See you guys.